Welcome back to the show. So, if you are building a business as a coach in the health and wellness space, then there is a good chance that what you need right now is more clients. Clients are the lifeblood of your business, of course. And without consistent clients coming in, then your business is going to struggle. But many new coaches really aren't sure how to market their businesses and get clients. And that's okay. As you'll hear us say in this interview, nobody is born knowing how to do this. So you're not wrong for not knowing right now. And in this episode, you're going to learn some marketing strategies and some specific ways of getting new clients coming in. And that's even if you're brand new. Now, if you're new to me, I'm Kim Foster and I'm an MD turned coach and a business mentor for my fellow health and wellness coaches. And my guest today is Amy Lippmann. Now, if you don't know Amy, she's a marketing strategist and the founder of Marketing for Health Coaches. Many years ago, Amy attended the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And after 5 years as a health coach back in 2011, she merged her marketing roots with her passion for wellness by launching her company, Marketing for Health Coaches, where she's helped thousands of health coaches and nutritionists to successfully get clients and launch online programs and grow their lists. Now, in this interview, Amy shares some really practical suggestions for how to get health coaching clients, even when you're brand new. And I think that you are going to find our conversation super helpful. So let's get into it. Well, hey, Amy, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, I am so looking forward to this conversation today because we are going to be talking all about marketing strategies for health and wellness coaches, of course, and how to book more clients and all of that good stuff, which is so important. Before we get into everything, though, I would, for people who don't know you yet, perhaps, I would love for you to just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people a bit about the work that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually started out as a health coach myself. I was a health coach for 5 years, and I went to Institute for Integrative Nutrition, which probably a lot of the listeners are familiar with or went to. There's more schools that have cropped up, but when I went back in 2004, 2005, right, I think it was the only health coaching school that existed.
Right.
So I did health coaching for 5 years, and I found that I really loved the marketing side and the kind of behind the scenes work more and the entrepreneurial aspect more than the actual health coaching. I was really into health and wellness, and I've become even more into health and wellness in my own life since then. But it was a way for me to combine my continued passion for wellness and my love of marketing. And I had a marketing background. And so I started supporting health coaches and nutritionists and wellness pros with building their businesses. And that was about 11 years ago that I made that transition and started Marketing for Health Coaches, where, I work with health coaches and other wellness pros to help give them the tools to really to build their business, get it off the ground, and have consistent income coming in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? I just think it's interesting when you said that you really loved the marketing side of things when you were, training and working as a health coach, because so many people in the health and wellness space, really, that's the thing. If they were to identify one thing that they don't like, it's the marketing side of things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And you have that background, of course. So of course, this is, you're naturally, put together this way, which is so great. And you're in a great position to help people with this. I mean, first of all, is this something that you see coaches really struggling with?
Yes, for sure. For sure. And I think there's a couple of reasons why. And your listeners can listen and see what you identify with. But one is that as someone who is sort of a helper healer type person, that type of person often does not feel comfortable with trying to sell services, because the mindset of a helper healer tends to be more of I want to be of service. I just want to help. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's great. We want to take that service oriented feeling and keep that strong, because that's going to actually help you in your marketing and
Yeah.
help you with attracting clients, but also recognize that the only way that you truly can help people in a meaningful way is if they're paying you. Like that is that, and I'm sure, this has been said before, but people are not like, if just reading a book or an article online was what was going to help people, then even a free conversation with someone, I am much less likely to take action on something that I've gotten in a free source than I am if I'm spending $1,000, $3,000, whatever it is. And so really to kind of transition to that mindset of, oh, it's by getting myself out there so that people know I exist. Because if I want to help people and I want to be of service, people have to know I exist.
Exactly.
And then charging for my services and inviting people to work with me and pay me is how they're actually going to get transformation. So I think that's one thing that I see. And also the other thing is that we're not born knowing how to market. We're not known particularly how to market health coaching services. And so, schools do great jobs of preparing us as coaches for starting to work with clients, but it's how do we actually get those clients and get them each and every week and month coming in. And so I think also another thing that I see happen, and I'm sure you see this too, Kim, is like people graduate from school and they think, okay, well, I've graduated. So that's the proof that I should be able to do this. That's the proof, right? That should be the proof that I'm ready to go. And I should be able to do this. And yet they don't know that the schools, not to dismiss them, but it's just they're doing the thing that they're really good at. And that's, typically not teaching all of the marketing skills and strategies that are needed. And so I think that we think we can sometimes get into this, I don't know if it's not really a cycle, but this kind of situation where we think, well, I don't know how to do this. I should just try to figure it out, or I don't know how to do this, so I guess I'm not meant to do this. And there's the kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall. I'm like throwing my hands. You can't see me as you're listening, but and then feeling like I'm putting all this energy. A lot of clients come to me and they're like, oh my God, I'm burnout. I'm not sure if I want to even do this anymore because I just have been trying so hard and nothing's happening. And it is really easy to just put a lot of energy and time in and not get anything from it if you don't know what you're doing. And similarly, it's also really easy to stay stuck and sort of feeling paralyzed because you don't even know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, you make such a good point that none of us is born knowing how to market. But it's true, like when you go through a program and if you didn't learn how to market but you think that you're kind of like supposed to know at this point, right? And
Yes.
so then I think a lot of people just make themselves wrong for not actually knowing this yet. There's something wrong with me. I don't know this yet. That must mean, like you said, this isn't meant for me. I'm not supposed to be doing this. Rather than
Like
looking,
shame.
yes, totally. I think that a lot of people feel shame. And then, of course, we get into the whole comparison thing because maybe some people who you graduated with, they are doing great and you're not. You think, oh, something is wrong with me. And I should be able to, I should be able to figure this out on
Yes.
my own. I should be at the stage where this is easy, or at least I know what I'm doing. But it's a complicated thing. There's a lot of things that you just don't necessarily know naturally right off the bat. But the good news is that all of this stuff is learnable. We
Yes.
can absolutely learn how to market our businesses in an effective way. So I know that you have got a simple formula for getting clients consistently. So I would love for you to share that with us.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a jumping off point that
Mhm.
I love to share, which is, let's say that every week you did one thing to get in front of potential clients. You might be doing more than one thing. Let's say you do one thing. And from that one thing, you book to initial consultations. These are calls that you do with potential clients who are interested in potentially working with you. It gives you a chance during those consultations to learn more about the potential client, what they're struggling with, what their goals are, and for you to determine if they're a good fit for you and to share how they can work with you. At the end of that call, you invite them to work with you. So you've got those 2 calls. And of those 2 calls, you book 1 client. Now, let's say that you are charging anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 for your private coaching program. Let's say it's a 3-month private coaching program. So if you are doing that one thing every week to get in front of new people, you're booking those 2 consults, you're signing up one of those 2 people a month. And by the way, you can greatly increase your close, what we call your close rate, right? From 50% to 70 to 80%. But I'm just kind of being really conservative and realistic here, right? So that's 4 new clients a month. That's bringing in anywhere from 4,000 to to 6,000 essentially a month. And it's simple, right? And that is one of the keys that I find, one of the keys, not that I find, that I know to be true to getting clients is that you need to have an audience. And we hear this word, grow your audience, build your audience, all these things. We think about our social media followings and we think about our lists. And yes, those things are important. But literally having an audience can be going out and giving a talk to 15 people. That is an audience. I have another strategy called wellness parties, which is a type of speaking that we could dive into, where again, you might be in front of 10, 15 people. There's so many ways to get in front of a quote unquote audience. I think that word can feel a little overwhelming, but essentially it just means like if every week you're getting in front of some new people, plus staying connected to the people who have already connected with you via social media in your list, then that is where the magic happens. That is where you're going to consistently book new clients. But when we're not regularly engaging new people in some way, then at some point, like our friends and family who love us and their friends and family who they could spread the word to, like at some point, that's going to start to wane. Right.
I loved how you made that so simple. Like that's just, it's just a simple matter of get in front of the, your ideal clients potentially, and then you're booking calls from there and then signing out. So, and it does, I love that framework of just how simple it can be to achieve those income goals. And I know that most people would be thrilled to have that kind of simple, easeful framework to do that. But of course, the trick is like the getting in front of part. So,
right.
But I really want to hear about the wellness parties, first of all. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So wellness parties is something I cooked up. No pun intended.
Nice.
It's something I cooked up when I was a new health coach. And it's something that I now teach inside my programs, and clients just love it. So basically, you are leading an interactive agenda with a group of potential clients who ideally are like a fit, the types of people you want to work with. And a really popular thing to do is a cooking demo or a cooking class. So with a demo, people aren't hands-on doing stuff. You're kind of showing them. And with a cooking class, it's more everyone's kind of hands-on and, and so this is something you can do online or you can do in person. And one of the things that makes this really useful for getting in front of new people who don't yet know about you is to ask other people to host you. So think of kind of like the Tupperware party
Mm-hmm.
model. And I actually didn't have that. I didn't even know about that model at the time. But now people say, oh, yeah, it's like that. I'm like, oh, yeah, it is. So it's kind of an easy way to think about it. So you can think about friends, family members, current clients, past clients. You could also local businesses or even online businesses who do something complementary to you, even a business like might want you to come in and do something for their employees. So there's lots of different ways to do this, and you can host your first one, where you invite the people you're connected with and maybe your clients, and you ask them to bring a friend, and you invite some friends and ask them to bring a friend. You can always do that for your first one. But then lining up other people to host them, where each one you're getting in front of different people. And you're either doing it at their home or you're doing it online. And it's really fun. And so a couple of tips that I would say to make it really successful is to have a theme for your wellness party that relates specifically to what you help clients with.
Mm.
So if you help women who are going through perimenopause and menopause, for example, then you would want the theme of your party to relate to that. You'd want to speak to that in the name of the party. One of our clients, Brooke, she helps clients with energy. So she did a Rev Up Your Energy cooking party.
Oh, I love that.
And so what happens when we have a theme is that it is going to naturally attract the people who are going to be a good fit for working with you. People who show up for Brooke's energy cooking party are looking for more energy. So then when she tells them about how they can work with her, they're much more likely to be interested, right?
Yeah.
And then the other piece, well, two other keys I would say to success with this is to when you are doing your demo or your cooking party and you're talking about the foods in, let's say you're putting a smoothie together, you want to highlight some of the ingredients. Why did you choose this? Is it because it's got some certain superfood that really helps with hot flashes? I'm totally making things up here, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be every single ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
But highlighting some particular ingredients. Oh, we put coconut oil in this because it's really going to boost your metabolism. Or we're putting flax seeds in here to help to increase the fat and fiber and protein, and it's going to help to stabilize your blood sugar, and you want to do that for these reasons. What that does is it really sets you up as an expert, and you don't have to memorize like what are all the nutrients in all the foods, but just knowing some key things of that you've been intentional with how you've the sort of menu of foods that you're showing them how to make and what's in there. It really is going to set you up as an expert. People are going to be hungry again. No pun intended.
All the food metaphors.
I don't know. My subconscious mind is like working behind the scenes here. So, and then the third key to having success with this is to make an invitation at the end. Invite people to an initial consultation. We have a form that we give our clients that people fill out towards the end. If it's an in-person thing, and if it's not, you can just send people a link, and then sending some follow-up emails after the event, because some people right there on the spot are going to say, yes, I want to sign up for a session. And then other people are going to maybe have to leave early, or maybe, going to need to think about it. Even if it's a free initial consultation, some people need some extra motivation and reminders to do that. So that follow-up is really, really key. And then bonus tip, which is with everything, have fun with it. Like if you are having fun and you are bringing joy and passion to what you're doing and making it lighthearted, then people are going to pick up on that energy And that's a really yummy energy, right? That's the kind of energy people want.
Yeah.
They want it for themselves. And I'm big on talking about energy. So I know we talk about marketing strategies, but I can't ever help myself from talking about energy because we are always transmitting, whether you believe it or not, and not you, Kim, I'm sure you, you believe it.
Yeah.
But listeners, whether you believe it or not, you're transmitting energy. When you write an email, when you write a social media post, when you go, do a wellness party or a speaking or a live stream or get on a podcast, whatever energy you have while you are doing it is being infused to the thing and then is being transmitted to the people who are reading, listening, whatever the case may be. And so sometimes we got to shift what we're doing so that we can infuse those energies, right? Because sometimes we're just like, I can't muster up a joyful, playful, easeful energy around doing X. So maybe I need to stop doing X,
Right.
That's a bigger conversation.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I absolutely am in love with this idea of the wellness parties. It's got a similar, I'm sure, feel, or it's kind of a similar approach to doing workshops, right? But a whole lot less formal and less academic and, that kind of thing, and more just like fun. Even just using the word party, like you said, I think that shifts your energy. And I think also, shifts the energy of the people who are showing up too, right? Like, because they are in a party mood. It's not like to come and sit and be taught and, lectured at. I mean, I'm always encouraging people who, when they're doing workshops, to make it's not meant to be an academic lecture anyway. And you'd love for it to be interactive. So people get buy-in and they really participate and contribute. And that helps with that client journey. But just calling it a party and making it like a party atmosphere and making it more of an event, not so much just a lecture. I absolutely, I love that. So that's a great strategy. Awesome. So tell me about some other strategies, because I'd love to know some other ways that coaches can get in front of their ideal clients. Whether this is like, because I know that many people, especially in the beginning, don't have a big list, as you said. We don't have a big audience or social media following. So what are some other strategies for getting in front of these of their audience and their people who can potentially become clients?
Yeah. So one thing I'll just touch on real quick, because we did spend a lot of time talking about wellness parties, other forms of speaking. Speaking is number one, whether that's a wellness party, doing a local talk at, whether it's a yoga studio, a gym, a business, a women's group, whatever, a mom's group, right? Local talks, online talks, live streaming, which I think we'll circle back to in a minute. All of those are different forms of speaking, and they all are just so brilliant at getting you in front of, if you do it the right way, they just do such a fabulous job of getting you in front of new people, which is what we started with.
Yes.
And when you are speaking in any form in front of a group of people, even a podcast, it gives you the opportunity it gives your audience the opportunity to get to know you, get to see your personality, get to feel your energy, much more than the written word, right? And then they come to trust you because you're sharing tips and you're sharing value and you're sharing your expertise. Even if we don't feel like an expert when we're starting out, and I'm sure everyone's heard this a million times, but like, you all listening are experts. And obviously there's a spectrum. And so if you're a brand new coach, you might not know as much as someone who's been coaching for 5 years, but you know way more than your potential clients.
Absolutely.
So speaking is always going to be like top for me. From what my own personal experience in health coaching and in my current business. I mean, if you look at both new coaches and you look at people who have been in business, whether they have a $200,000 business or $1 million business. I don't have $1 million business, but any of those ranges, those people are doing speaking regularly, some type of speaking. So it works. It's a necessity for all stages of business.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So, I mean, in that broad umbrella of speaking, I mean, this is how you make connections with people, right? How can they even know you and what you're about and what you believe in and what you can help people with unless you're actually, speaking about it. So,
Yeah.
speaking about what you can share and how you can help people. And that can be, so you listed a number of different ways, like in person, so workshops, giving presentations, or collaborating at yoga studios or local places like that. Doing the wellness parties is kind of a form of speaking too,
Yeah,
right? It's like it's
for
you
sure.
showing up as the authority or facilitator in that space. Anyway, but I love that. And now let's just shift a little bit though. I'd like to talk about the online side of things because I think you
Yeah.
mentioned also about doing live videos. So I know, sometimes you think about, so this is of course another way of speaking about what you know and what you can share.
Mhm.
Um, People love the idea of, well, maybe they're nervous about the, the platform, but still, if you're willing to overcome that. But the thing is, if you don't have like a big following, I know that, I mean, just in my membership recently, we were talking about, showing up live and then nobody shows up. Like if you show up live and nobody's there and you're just talking to the wind, and that can feel really bad and really frustrating. So talk to me about how, if you don't have a big following yet, what are some other ways, or what are some strategies, or even the mindset around starting to speak online?
Absolutely. So we're talking about live streaming, whether this is on Instagram or Facebook. Um, and I'm going to give you a strategy to help you if you don't have a following yet. But I do want to say, I would say even me, not like I'm like, you know, a multi-million dollar business, but sometimes I go live and no one is there. And the thing that we need to remember is that the replay has massive power.
Yeah.
So almost going in with like, maybe some people will be here, maybe they won't. It's kind of just an easy way to record a video and have it stay up. Now, if you're doing it on Instagram, you will only stay up if you save it to your IG videos. Right after you are done, you'll receive a like a pop-up, and there are some different options. Like one is to download the recording. So you want to save it to your IG videos, which used to be called IGTV. I think at this point now everyone has it as IG video.
I think so. I mean, although they'll
It's
probably change that
changed it
soon.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. um, so that's just something really important to remember.
Mhm.
And you can repurpose those videos. You can link to them in emails. You can put them on YouTube. You can put them on your blogs. Like that's the thing I've been doing a lot recently is putting my blog. So just, to shift the mindset of like people have to be here live. It's kind of more fun when
Mhm.
people are there live and you can engage with them and they're asking questions or commenting and to all of that. But also know that even people with large followings, like a group of 11,000 people that I sometimes go live and there's no one there, or there's two or three people there.
That is
It
such a good reminder. Yeah, because it's true. Like it doesn't validate what you're doing. To have a lot of people, you can still show up even if nobody is there. I think that's a little bit of like detaching from the outcome, right? So you're going to still
absolutely,
show up. All you can control is how you're going to show up and what you're going to share, and then detaching from, is one person going to show up? Are 100 people going to show up? And that's such a great reminder that even people with a big following, sometimes we show up and it's crickets. It's okay. You're still there. You can still share it. And then, like you said, it's a recording, it's a video now that you've created, and you can use that in so many different ways. I love that.
absolutely, yeah. So let's talk about how can you get more people to show up and to start following you. And it's a strategy called co-hosted live streams.
Hmm.
And it's a form of partnering. So partnering is another strategy that is one of the top strategies for getting clients. So we'll kind of talk about that in relation to this. So co-hosted live stream is where you do a live stream with someone else and you're both on the screen having a conversation and you're both promoting that live stream to your audiences.
Mm.
So that gets you in front of the other person's audience.
Perfect. Yeah.
So people who you would want to do co-hosted live streams with are going to be mostly other business owners who, or businesses who do offer something complementary to
Mm-hmm.
what you offer, but don't compete with what you offer, right? So this could be hopping on with an herbalist or a midwife or a personal trainer. I mean, the sky is the limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could also do this inside. Say there's like a local moms group and they do online events. You could do something with them. I mean, it's really there's so many opportunities here. And what I recommend is just making a list of what are the types of businesses or groups or people who who like are where my potential clients hang out, or the types of people who do something complimentary. Um, and then, it could be physical therapist. I mean, it's just depending on what your specialty is and what you
Mm-hmm.
focus on helping people with. And then looking and finding those people. They don't have to be in your local area, but you might start by finding people and businesses in your local area just to kind of narrow things down for yourself. And that's like a connecting point with that other person. Um, and you invite them. So you are actually inviting them to be on a live stream with you. You're offering something to
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yeah.
You're not actually asking something of them in terms of the tone of it. And then once you get a yes from someone, then you are outlining like, here's what I'm going to do, here's what you're going to do, right? And within that is like, we're both going to send out emails to our lists, right? We're both going to post on social media about this. And it just works really well to, if you do that twice a month, and you share a free gift, you're gonna build your list pretty significantly over a few months period of time. And it's also a great way to dip your toe in the water with potential partners.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you invite a personal trainer to do a co-hosted live stream with you and they say yes, and you get on and you do the live stream. Very low barrier to entry, right? You're both just basically committing to an hour of time and to sending out a couple of emails,
Yeah.
right? And it's not like a deep relationship. Then you're getting to know the person and you're breaking the ice really with
Mm-hmm.
them. And from there, you can be like, let's chat in a couple weeks and, find out what they're up to, find out what you're up to. And, oh, maybe you have a cleanse coming up, and would their people be interested in that? And would they want to be an affiliate? Or would they want to host you for a talk in their space? Right. So this is kind of where it's like kind of can be just a great entry point to deepening relationships that help you even in a more expansive way.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important. Building those relationships is really, what you're talking about, potential partners to do joint ventures with, collaborations. So powerful because you're just magnifying your reach, both of you, or whoever you're partnering with, right?
Yeah.
It's a win-win kind of situation. But I love the idea of like having that be kind of like your first date. Do like invite them into that live stream because worst case scenario it's just 1 hour out of or however long you're going to do the live for, and if things don't jive, no problem, like no big deal, but then you could add, that's exactly how you could find more people to partner with and collaborate with in bigger ways going forward. So those are such helpful stuff, Amy.
Oh, so glad.
Right. I mean, you've given a ton of ideas of and really lots of detail on how to do these key strategies that anyone can do right at the beginning. You don't have to have a huge following to start start planning your speaking. Like, how are you going to get in front of people? The wellness parties idea is awesome. And then lives, even if you don't have a big audience right now, we all have to start somewhere. So I love that.
And one tip I just want to throw in there about doing these co-hosted live streams is um, it can feel a little nerve-wracking
Mm-hmm.
at first, like your first time. It's like, well, how is the technology going to work exactly? And how is the conversation going to flow and all of that? And so one thing that can just really help you get up to speed with it and get comfortable is to do your first one or two with friends or colleagues, right? These don't have to be like your perfect partner,
Yeah.
but it could be, even just another health coach who you're friends with and you both want to practice doing this. And so just doing it with someone who you have a relationship with and you're comfortable with to start. We've done that with our clients where we've had our clients sort of pair up and do co-hosted live streams with each other. Even though like that's not necessarily the long-term strategy, it just gets their feet wet. And you can also always delete. Like if you
Yes,
do
of
that
course.
and you practice and you're like, okay, well, this isn't really something I want to have stay up, delete it when you're
Yeah.
done if you want. I'm not saying you should do that, but I think it can put the mind at ease just to know.
Yeah, it takes the
We,
pressure off.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is an advantage to doing this strategy when you don't have a big audience, right? So like I know that a lot of people feel like not having a big audience is a bad thing, but actually it can be a good thing because if you're kind of practicing and like you said, getting your feet wet and you're not really sure and technology always messes up in some way or other, which is fine, but being able to practice and refine how you're doing this in your own comfort level and confidence when you're not on a huge stage, when you've only got a couple of people, that's a good thing because, then you'll get better as your audience grows.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I just also, along with that, kind of want to say that people, particularly in this time in the world, are really wanting realness from
Mm,
people. And so it's so hard for us to deprogram, even myself, from this. But, you know, saying, not having the exact words, having to pause to gather your thoughts, like, however you look, you know what I mean? How your
yeah.
space looks, like all of that stuff is unimportant. And people would much rather see just a real person being themselves with all of their, you know, um, uh, imperfections. It makes you more relatable. Like, actually, people don't want a coach who seems perfect
Hmm.
because, I mean, we want a coach who knows what they're talking about,
Sure. Yes.
right? Who seems like they could help us and we like
Mhm.
their energy. But if we are putting a lot of pressure on ourselves to be perfect, going kind of back to the energy piece, we're
Yeah.
putting a lot of pressure on ourselves that, oh, I'm doing this live stream and I've got to be perfect. Then we're actually transmitting the energy that that potential client also has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of pressure. Clients
Mm-hmm.
don't want they want to feel like they can make mistakes. They want to feel like they can show up in all their messiness and not be judged, you know what I mean? And be
Yeah.
loved and supported and nurtured in a coaching relationship. So that's just some extra motivation
Yeah.
for us to just kind of just go, ah,
Yes. Everyone take a deep breath.
yeah,
Yes, I totally agree. And, it's just what you said too about like they don't care if you're having a bad hair day or, if something's going on and you just are not feeling perfect and you don't have the perfect setup. They really like really always focus on, it's so important to always focus on the other person instead of making it about you. Don't make it about you, make it about them. They need you to get over yourself and just show up and share a little something with them, right? Like that's all that they need. They don't need perfection. And in fact, just like you said, Amy, often perfection is not what they want anyway. It's way more relatable to have imperfection or to, people want to connect with real people, exactly like you said, and more so now than ever before. And so you just show up in all your realness and all of your imperfections and just focus on how you can help people and not so much about like, how do I look and how am I coming across? And am I saying too much? All of that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I love it. That's such a great reminder, really. I know it's not an easy thing for people to like get. It's not an easy thing for any of us. Yeah, this has been so amazing having you on the podcast, Amy. I have really enjoyed our conversation. I want you to tell us, where can people go to connect with you and to learn, all the things about your work?
Yeah. So first off, I'll say that I have got a free guide, or not a free guide, a free action plan. It's a 30-day action plan. It's called 5 Clients in 30 Days. And I will tell you, if you follow, it literally breaks down day by day, simple things to do each day. It builds upon each other. So by the end of the 30 days, if you're interested particularly in doing wellness parties or talks, it really lays out a plan for you that's very doable, whether you've got a full-time job or you're doing this full-time. I had clients say to me, just tell me what to do. I don't know if you get this, Kim.
Yes,
just
all the time.
Tell me what to do.
What do I do?
I was like, I'm going to create this plan and then I'm just going to give it away for free. And it's got templates and lots of good stuff in there. And you can get that at healthcoachactionplan.com.
Awesome. I will link that in the show notes.
And then my website is marketingforhealthcoaches.com. You can find me there. And then I also have a Facebook group called the Health Coach Collective. So those are kind of the best ways to find me right now.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I will put all of those links in the show notes and description so that everybody can easily find you. That guide sounds terrific. And yeah, I mean, absolutely. If it breaks things down, that's definitely what people, because it can be so overwhelming. Marketing can just be there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different directions that you can go. So yeah, that sounds perfect. Just break it down, do this, that, and then you're off to the races. I love it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on, Amy. This has just been great.
It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. And like I said earlier, when we hopped on, I feel like we've met before, but we haven't.
Yeah.
So we've just kind of been seeing each other online, and it's just such a great, and I think this is just a great example of like what all of our listeners can be doing as well, and working with colleagues. And
yes, I so admire all the work that you're doing in this space. And so it was just such a pleasure to have you onto my podcast and to get to, bring you to my audience and share your wisdom. It's been terrific.
Thanks, Kim.
Okay, well, there you have it. I hope that you got a ton of value out of that conversation. And I hope that you've now got some new ideas for how to get out there and get in front of your ideal clients and book some discovery calls and start working with actual paying clients. So let me know your thoughts on this. Which one of the approaches that Amy shared today are you going to start with? As I always say, keep it simple and keep it focused. Don't plan to do all these things right away. Just start with one. So let me know in the comments below this video, or if you're listening to the audio of this episode, then find me on Instagram and let me know. Okay, that's a wrap for today. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you again very soon.